Hey everyone, this is Peggy Hernandez of the U46 School District Planetarium for a special winter break version, 2-week version of our Sky Talk. And boy, what an exciting start to break we had. I know that most of you went out and looked for Jupiter and Saturn. I want to show you that on December 21st, 2020, if I zoom in a little bit on our solar system here, you can clearly see that Jupiter and Saturn were lined up with the sun. That happens every 20 years. Jupiter goes faster in its orbit than Saturn does. Watch, I'll fast forward it. I'll fast forward a lot, many years. We're going to go by 20 years. This is how fast these planets move in their orbit. The closer to the sun, the faster they go. It turns out that every 20 years or so, Jupiter and Saturn line up. So if this is 2020, when we get to 2040, we should see that Jupiter and Saturn are lined up with the sun. And by golly, they are. We're going to have another conjunction in 2040. The thing is, it doesn't always happen at a convenient time for us to view it. What I mean is, sometimes when we get this conjunction of these two lined up, from the planet Earth, we really need to look at it in the daytime. We need to look at it when the sun is up and we can't see it then. The other thing is, this year they were really close, I guess you could say above and below each other. Jupiter slid right underneath Saturn and they were super close. Most years they're not that close due to the inclination of their orbits. So this year was really, really special. The next time we'll be able to see it in the evening sky will be 2080, but it won't be nearly as close as this one. So it was 800 years ago the last time we were able to see a really good close one. There was another good close one in the year 1200. In the year 1600, only 400 years ago, but it was during the day, so we weren't able to see it then. So I'm going to, let's go back to the 21st on that solstice day. I want to show you one other thing. You can kind of see it. And what I'm talking about is the solstice. The fact that our Earth is tilted 23.5 degrees on its orbit, the North and South Pole are not straight up and down compared to the sun. It's tilted. And in our winter time, it just so happens that the top half of the Earth near the North Pole, that part seems like it's tilted away from the sun. See, the tilt doesn't change. The Earth doesn't tilt back and forth. The tilt stays that way. So this time of the year, if we go slowly, I let the Earth spin from different angles, you can kind of tell that the top part of the Earth is sort of tilted away. If you can see the United States, and that angle won't work. Maybe if I move it back a little bit. Mars keeps getting in the way. The top part of the Earth is getting a lot more darkness, but the bottom part here, Australia, they're having summertime right now. And if I fast forward 6 months from now, if we go to, say, June, here we are in June, we do that same kind of zooming in, and then we watch the spin again, you might notice the top part of the Earth gets more hours of sunlight. We have less hours of darkness. The tilt is the same. The tilt both times was angled like this when it was over here and when it was over here. That's what gives us our solstices. And those in-between days between solstices, we call those the equinox. And that's when we get 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness. And that's neat to look at, but I tell you, the wintertime is pretty much the best for watching the night sky. I know it's cold, but the cold nights are so clear. Some stars are incredibly twinkly. I want to touch upon that a little bit tonight. We're heading into darkness. It's already past sunset at 4:49 on December 24th. And as it gets dark out, you can still see Jupiter and Saturn. They're still there. Oh, they're a little bit farther apart than they were a couple of days ago, but they're still there in the evening sky, very low in the south. Notice how close they are to the trees already. By the time we get to maybe 6 o'clock, you pretty much can't see them, but you can still go out and see the conjunction. It was not a one-night event. I've been talking about it actually for months and months during my Sky Talks. Hopefully you've been watching it for all that time. But by 6 o'clock, we can't even really see Jupiter and Saturn, but there's plenty of stars up. The brightest star that we'll see in the west will be Vega. As usual, I see lots of satellites going by. 6 o'clock is a great time to go out and observe. If I pause here, I will show you the constellation lines. There they are. And here's the drawings, if you like to see those. Altair is the eagle. Aguila, the eagle, it has Altair in it. Deneb is also a bright star. Vega, these are all low in the west as soon as it gets dark out. If you look up a little bit in the southwest, up high, you'll be able to see the great square of Pegasus. That one is still up in our evening sky. Now, if I turn to the left a little bit, I'll be facing south, and the moon is up. We had a first quarter moon on the 21st, and that means it's getting bigger. So now we're in a waxing gibbous. We're heading to a full moon on Monday. We'll have a full moon on Monday. And the cool thing is, on the 24th, the moon was right next to Mars. The moon moves around the Earth once a month, and it moves to the left from one night to the next. If I fast forward to tomorrow, the 25th, the moon is going to be over there. On the 26th, it'll be a little bit farther. On the 27th, the moon is going to be almost full, and it will be right inside of Taurus the bull. Let me draw in that letter V right there is Taurus the bull. And here's the drawing of the bull. The moon is kind of like in the horns of the bull on the 27th. So let's go back a couple days to the 24th. That's where the moon will be tonight. And let's look towards the east. I love looking in the east in the wintertime. It's my favorite section of the sky because there's Orion the Hunter just rising. There's the 3 in a row that make up his belt. If you follow his belt up, it takes you to Aldebaran, that eye of the bull. This bright star is Capella. That one can look pretty twinkly in the sky. We call that scintillation when a star looks twinkly. It's because your eyes, the light from that star is going through hundreds, or if it's low in the sky, thousands and thousands of miles of atmosphere. And there are things in our atmosphere, water vapor for one, that bends light waves. And it just makes it look like it twinkles. And they're beautifully twinkly in the wintertime, especially. The planet Mars is up in the southeast, so we'll be able to see it early in the evening. And there's that waxing gibbous moon. I want to go a little bit later in the evening. It's only 6 o'clock right here. If we go to maybe 8 o'clock, that's when we can see the brightest star in the sky from planet Earth. At 8:15, we can see Sirius. Let me get rid of the clutter. At 8:15 tonight, Orion the Hunter will be up all week. And that belt, if you follow it down, it guides you to Sirius, the dog star. That is the nose of the dog, the hunting dog of Orion the Hunter. If you follow that belt up, it takes you to Aldebaran, that letter V on its side, and that is Taurus the bull. They're beautiful constellations. Gemini, the twins, are up in the east. These 2 matching stars are the heads of twin brothers. And Sirius, that beautiful, twinkly, bright star, is up by about 8 o'clock tonight. If I keep following towards the northeast over here, you should see the dippers. The Big and Little Dipper are visible. Here are the lines. The Big Dipper is the one you notice first. And that handle is kind of digging into the horizon. Right here is the saucepan. Follow these 2 to the North Star, also known as Polaris. It's the pole star, and this is Little Dipper. Not very easy to spot in the nighttime sky. It's not very bright. The Polaris is the 49th brightest star in the sky. You would never walk outside and say, "Whoa, look at that bright star. It's the only one I see. It must be the North Star." That is completely wrong. And I don't know where that old wives' tale ever got started. It is not bright. Oh, the North Star is special for sure. I can show you something really cool with the North Star. It's the star that our North Pole points to. If you went up there to the North Pole, up there where Santa Claus is resting now, he had a busy week. And if you looked straight up above the North Pole, straight up, right above your head, that's where you would find Polaris. And we spin on that pole. So watch what happens over the course of the night. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I'm going to go even faster. Are you noticing that everything is spinning around that central star? That is the North Star. The North Star never moves in the sky. That's what's so cool about it. The Earth never stops spinning, so that North Star never moves, and the stars never stop moving around that point. So take some time this break, find a family member, go outside anytime after dark, look for these awesome things in the sky, and I will see you in January.